Welcome to today class, and today we are going to see what is circuit breaker. So, in terms of Spring Cloud environment or in terms of Spring Boot microservices. So, what is actually Citrix circuit breaker? So till now we did the configure server, until now, and also we saw about we already learned about the Eureka server, Eureka server where we can register and discover all our organization microservices, and where we can check I'll check out of that microservices, and also we can check that what microservices behavior on the Eureka dashboard, as well as addresses of the microservices. What are the microservices are available in our organization? Fine, that is okay. Now this is the circuit breaker pattern. Citrix circuit breaker pattern. Citrix is the one component. Citrix is the one component. Using this, we can implement fault tolerance mechanism. What is the fault tolerance mechanism? Whenever two services are talking each other, for example, my service A is consuming or calling external service called B. So when service B is down, we will get a internal server error. Or sometimes in external calls, each and every time, even though service is down, we are unnecessarily hitting the external service. So it is a cost effect. When we are hitting the external services, it is a cost effect. So unnecessarily hits when the service is down, external service is down. We can provide a solution called a circuit breaker. We need to break that pattern. We need to provide some error message or fault tolerance message to the service A by implementing a Citrix circuit breaker pattern. So how it will be work, we will see. Whenever we are calling an external service, the external service is up, the circuit breaker will be closed. Why? Because if the external service is up, no need to implement, no need to came into the picture, this one. So if the external service is down, it will came into the picture, circuit breaker pattern will be opened. So it will pass, it will give the some error message. Instead of giving the external service error message, simply we are giving the some external service is down, it will up soon, or it will up in few minutes, something like that. We can provide our custom messages instead of error messages. So like that we can go through the go ahead the rest of the program, rest of the execution of our microservices without any effect. So for that purpose, we are going to implement a Citrix circuit breaker pattern. So let me open our projects. Yeah, here it is the I mentioned some notes about the Citrix circuit breaker pattern Spring Cloud. Okay, so let me open project. So yeah, whatever we discussed about student service and school service, that the two services only I am taking here. First of all, let me open student service. So if you see pom.xml, let me open the pom.xml. So what are the dependencies we added as part of this service? Accommodator, yes, accommodator, and web. We need web for this is the RESTful service, right? So these are the only we added. Fine. Coming to application data properties, only port number is enough. So coming to controller, so this is the main application class of this service. Just simply a Spring Boot application. Fine. So coming to controller. So coming to controller, you know, right? One is the static database. Simply I added here only. So no, I don't want to implement all service and service layers and all. So simply I want to add here. Here the main focus is the how we are implementing a Citrix circuit breaker pattern. So that is the main focus. So services layers and repositories layer we already did with our previous examples. So that is the reason I added here, right? A database. So I'm getting a student details by passing the school name, school DB. So here I'm as a school DB. If it is a class ABC school, a list of student details, a list of student details. If it is a XYZ school, list of a student details under XYZ school I added. Fine, that is the static database. So here I'm getting, by passing the school name, here I'm getting school db get school name. So based on the school name, we will get the list of students. Fine. So this is what I implemented here. And also let me see the domain. Domain is nothing but a student name and class. Fine. And coming to utility class. So utility class is it is related to here we don't know it, but it is related to Eureka server. When you are configuring a Eureka server, this service, the service behavior will tell this. Fine. So coming to second service. So let me open the pom.xml of school service. So what we added in terms of this one, Aquitator. Fine. Yeah, web is also we need. Why? Because we are consuming a student service inside the school service. Fine. Here Itrix cloud dependency we added, and also Itrix dashboard we added. Fine. So here we added Itrix related dependency. So why? Because we are implementing Itrix component in school service. So let me open pom.xml. So let me open pom.xml. What are the things we need here? Just simply here also port number. And if you open this project structure, so whenever we are using a Itrix, so we need to enable at the rate Itrix circuit breaker, at the rate Itrix circuit breaker, and also we can use the dashboard. We can see the dashboard of our services are available or not. For that purpose, we added at the rate Itrix dashboard. Fine. So coming to controller, this is the school service, right? This is the REST control. This is the school service. So here I'm writing some service. So this is the student delegate service or student service. So inside this service, we are going to implement a Itrix circuit breaker pattern. How we are going to implement, we will see now. So here, based on the school name, we are calling a call student service and get data. Fine. So inside the student service, inside the student service, let me open. So here, if you see here, you know, whenever we are calling an external service, we need a REST template. So that is the reason I auto-write this. Fine. Itrix command. So this is the main Itrix command. Fallback method. This is nothing but a fallback method. Itrix command. Inside the Itrix command annotation, it will expect some fallback method. This is the method name. So if you see here, this is the call students fallback is the method name. This is the method name. So whatever we are passing the school name, but automatically it will take the school name. So this method. So argument. So it will check internally. Whether the service is up and down. So it takes command on top of method, right? On top of method, right? It will check whether the external service we are calling here, whether the external service is up or not. If it is up, it takes circuit command will allow to the actual calling the service. If the external service is down, it takes command will not allow the controller inside the method. Instead of that, the fallback method will be called. So after that, it will call, right? The circuit breaker is enabled. No response from the student service at this moment, and service will get back shortly and current time. So like that, we can pass a positive response, to the end user, and we can finish the rest of the execution of our programming. So instead of hitting an actual service, when the service is down, so it will not allow to hit the access the external service when it is a down. Instead of that, it will call the fallback method. So it will give the some response, whatever we have some custom response related to this when the service is down. So that is what Itrix will take care of that. So this is the pattern most of the services are using nowadays. So let me run our project. So how it will be work, we will see. So I'm running first student service, debug as, run as Spring Boot application. Yeah. So now the application is started. Application is started. Fine. So let me run a second project. Let me run a second project. So let me run a second project. So I'm running second project also. So now this is also started. This is also started port number 9098. If you see here console, the two projects are running. One is the student service, one is the school service. Now we are going to call a student service inside the school service, so that we are opening the school service now. So let me open here. I'm having the school service. So if you see here, so normal flow. So normal flow in the sense the student service is up and running. Here my school service is the parent service, and student service is the child service, or school service is the A service, and the parent student service is the B service, right? So inside the school service we are calling a student service. So we are getting a student details. We are getting a student details if it is a ABC school. Let me call a XYZ school. XYZ school also there, right? XYZ school. XYZ school. So let me open. So now the student details, the information is changed. Third class and fourth class. So name, Sukesh, and class name and all. And also we have a time. So now I want to, when the service is not available, when the service is down, right? External service is down. So now I want to stop the service. Now I want to stop the service. So which service I want to stop? Student service. So just a student service, just I want to stop. So just now I stopped the student service. The student service is stopped. Let me run again. Let me run again. Yeah. Circuit breaker pattern enabled. No response. No response from the student service at this moment. Service will be shortly. Service will be back shortly. The time. So whatever we are giving inside this method called by the itrix command. So when itrix command will check, itrix will check inside whether the service is up or not. So if the service is down, automatically call this fallback method. Automatically call the fallback method. So now the whatever we have a custom response that we will get the in front end. So this is what a fault tolerance or high availability of that response from whenever we are calling an external service. So this is what we can achieve through using circuit breaker pattern or Citrix dashboard. So do you understand what is the circuit breaker pattern? Citrix circuit breaker pattern. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, we are here.
Yeah. Fine. So see, we already developed a Spring Boot related Spring Boot with SQL database cloud operations. We already developed a Spring Boot with MongoDB cloud operations. We already did the Spring Boot microservices, consuming microservices. We already did the Spring Boot SOAP service. We already did Spring Boot Kafka. We already did Spring Boot exception handling. We already did Spring Boot JUnits. So in all development areas we covered. So this is simply cloud. This is simply cloud configuration. Spring Boot with cloud configurations. One is a config server we did. One is a Eureka server we did. A service resistance service discovery. Now the third component is a circuit breaker pattern. So whenever we are calling an external service, that external service is down, we need to give the some proper message to the end user instead of giving an error response. So this is what a circuit breaker. So instead of calling an external service, even though it is a down unnecessarily, it is a cost effect. To reduce that cost effect, we can break that system. The breaking system is nothing but a circuit breaker. So this Citrix will break that system. It will give the his own method, whatever we implemented in terms of at the rate Citrix command. So that is what Citrix circuit breaker pattern as part of external service calls. So did you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have a
fine.
question about when you use the resting plate, you can use
Hmm.
instead of faint to create the call to the other service and use the annotation history command in that method. And use find here?
Yeah, we can use,
This
yeah, we
same
can use
this
train
same
also. Yeah,
way?
we can, instead of REST template, we can use train also. That we can discuss the tomorrow's class. Why? Because in terms of more than one call, if you are calling a more than one call, the train will be came into the picture. Using REST template, at a time we can call only one external service only within the same API. So if you are calling a more than one endpoints, so within the same method or within the same API, then fail will came into the picture. That is nothing but a load balancing. So whenever we are having a more than one endpoints in a one method, in a one way, so the fail will be came into the picture. So what is fail and how we can replace fail with the REST template? So where the fail will exactly came into the picture in terms of load balancing, that is what we will learn at tomorrow's class. So next class I can introduce that. Got it? Yeah. So this is the before last class, and tomorrow is the load balancing. Tomorrow in the sense day after tomorrow. So load balance class, don't miss that class. And load balance is also, we are going to use a client side load balancing. So till now, before microservices, we used server side load balancing. That is called some load balances are there where the network people are configured. Some F5 is there. So one of the load balancing, and most of the companies are using that F5 load balancer in the network level. Server side will configure, but we are going to configure a load balancing in a client side. So how we are going to prepare, how we are going to configure a client side load balancing, that we will see the next class. Okay.
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 Yeah. Thanks, friends. Thanks for your time, and we will meet at next class. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Thank you. And be prepared for the interviews. Okay.
Yeah.